with matter. Okay. So at the end of the this presentation, so you would be able to uh, list and explain the two types of interaction between electron and matter, as well as define each of the X-ray interaction with matter. Okay. In addition, you would be able to know which among the X-ray interaction with matter is important in diagnostic radiology. Okay, and how does this interaction with matter become important with diagnostic radiology? Okay, so again, we have two electron interaction with matter, which is ionization and excitation. Excitation, kailan ba siya nangyayari? Okay? Nangyayari yung excitation when an electron ay may low energy. And this electron collides with an inner shell electron. However, it does not have the capability or the power to eject that inner shell electron. So ano lang yung mangyayari? The only thing that will happen is that, okay, the projectile electron na magko-collide, it will cause the orbital electron to vibrate. Magba-vibrate lang siya. Then, magkakaroon ng temporary excitation ng electron and it will produce heat. So, yun lang yung mangyayari. And basically, dahil sa walang na-eject na electron, so therefore, the atom remains neutral. Hindi siya nabawasan ng components ng atomic components, di ba? Unlike ionization, okay? So the projectile electron has sufficient enough energy to eject the inner shell electron and thus producing radiation as a product. So the product of ionization, okay, it's either Bremsstrahlung or characteristic radiation. Okay. So merong ejection of X-ray photons. And the atom, okay, hindi siya mananatiling neutral. Okay, so based sa ating slide, so the atom will become a positive atom. Magkakaroon siya ng charge because an electron was ejected from the inner shell or from the neutral atom. So definitely, the atom will not remain neutral. Okay, so that is the two types of interaction between electron and matter. Okay. Question: how does Bremsstrahlung radiation happen? Paano nangyayari ang production ng Bremsstrahlung radiation? Ayun. Okay. Very good. Wala tayong naintindihan. So, Mr. Amorosa, wala kami naintindihan sa sinabi mo. Nag-static ang iyong line of communication. So, tatawag tayo ng iba. How about Miss Batahan? So, how do Bremsstrahlung radiation uh, or how are Bremsstrahlung radiation produced?
So, pagkakatanda ko po yung excitation, tapos nag-slow down po siya. So, may sabi lang po ng outer.
Saan? Sa
Outer electron. So, may outer electron lang. Hindi po siya
hindi siya Yes, it's true na may slowing down nagkakaroon ng slowing down ng projectile electrons. And then,
dadakit lang po siya sa may outer. Hindi po siya mismo magtatanda ng electron sa loob ng cell.
okay, so it's true na hindi nga siya walang ejection ng electron and magkakaroon ng slowing down. However, it is not in the outer shells, outer orbits. So, okay, sino ang gusto mo tumulong kay Miss Batan to complete her answer?
Sir, yun lang, sir.
Ayun, okay.
Sir, so basically, when solar radiation happens po, when the projectile electrons interact with the nuclear field po ng atom, and with that po, magkakaroon po ng electrical field, and ayun po, mag-slow down po yung projectile electron near the nucleus. And yung projectile electron po will change its direction of flow. And yung pag-breakdown nga po, or yung pagbagal ng projectile electrons, nag-emit po siya ng Bremsstrahlung radiation.
Okay, so thank you. So tama. So dahil sa slowing down, or kaya nagkakaroon ng slowing down of projectile electron because the energy that the projectile electron transfer doon sa uh, X-ray photons na mapuproduce. So instead na di ba, may change of direction yung ating projectile electron at the same time, mayroong decrease of energy kasi nag-slow down yung ating projectile electron. And yung nawalang energy doon sa projectile electron was converted into Bremsstrahlung radiation. Okay. So how about characteristics radiation? How are they produced? Paano na-produce ang characteristic radiation? Miss De Ramos. Miss De Ramos? Paano na-produce ang characteristic radiation? Naku, hindi sumasagot. How about Mr. De Mesa?
Sir,
Paano ba na-produce ang characteristic radiation?
sa pagkakatanda ko lang about characteristic radiation, meron po siyang ALN na orbital shell.
Okay.
And dun po, kapag natanggal ako, di ba meron din po tayo ng projectile electron po.
Mhm.
Kapag natanggal sa projectile electrons, si atom dun sa case and
napapantayan po na yung projectile electron po ng energy ng laser. Kaya po, ito po napapalitan po siya. Then, isa po palit po na parang naging unnatural state na po yung pinagpalitan po. Parang inalisan po for the atom. So, yan, nagpupulang po ng electron. Tapos, ang gagawin po ng atom po ay yung electron po coming po sa outside ay papalit coming from the outside or sa outer shell po ay mag-replace po siya. So, sa pagpalit po ng atom sa K-cell, yun po nag-produce ng characteristic radiation po.
Okay, so thank you. So, ayun. So, tama. Yung ating characteristic radiation, okay, na-produce siya due to the collision sa pagbangga ng projectile electrons saan? Dun sa isang electron mula sa inner shell. And the inner shell ay decay shell. So, electrons coming from the decay shell may eject ng projectile electrons. So, magkakaroon ng vacancy doon sa K-shell. And then, magkakaroon ng transfer ng electrons from the outer shells papunta sa K-shell. At kapag nagkaroon ng or kapag nag-transfer yung mga or yung isang outer orbital electron papunta sa K-shell or papunta doon sa vacant na orbit. So nagkakaroon ng production of energy. And that energy is the characteristic radiation. So maaaring sa isang interaction ng electron doon sa ng projectile electron doon sa K-shell electron, maaaring magkaroon ng higit sa isa o dalawang characteristic radiation. Okay? So yan. So binalikan lang natin. Kasi dapat, pag tinanong kayo, alam nyo kung paano na-produce ang radiation. Diba? Kasi yun yung basic. Hindi yung tatawagin lang tayong Radtech, lang yan, taga-pindot lang yan ng button. Diba? Taga-pindot lang ng taga-shoot lang yan ng machine. So, pag Radtech ka tapos tinawag kang taga-pindot ka lang ng machine, sabihin mo, baka gusto mo explain ko sa yung physics behind X-ray production. Tingnan natin kung di ka ma-nosebleed. Mga ganyan, di ba? Okay. So, ayan. So, of course, the electron interaction happens sa target located in the anode side. Okay? And the product of electron interaction with matter is, of course, heat and radiation. X-radiation. Okay? Now, we go to X-ray interaction with matter. Okay? There are three possible things that can happen with X-ray photons kapag ito ay nagkaroon ng interaction sa matter, particularly sa human body. Okay. So first, it can penetrate. Okay, it can penetrate the matter without interacting with the atoms sa matter. Okay. Next, the photon will be able to interact with matter. Okay, and it will be completely absorbed. Okay, X-ray photons can be completely absorbed. Then, third, X-ray photons can interact, okay, at magkakaroon ng scattering or deflection, or basically attenuation, partial absorption. Okay, so tatlo yung pwedeng mangyari sa ating o sa X-ray when it comes in contact with matter. Either it can just pass through the matter, penetrate, tatagos lang siya, okay? Or either absorb siya completely. So yung energy madedeposit dun sa matter kasi the X-ray photons are absorbed by that matter, or some of the energy of these photons will be absorbed and some will pass through or will be scattered. So, tatlo lang ang pwede. Okay, first, penetration. Second, absorption. Third, attenuation. So, yan lang tatlo yung pwedeng mangyari sa ating X-radiation when it comes in contact with matter. Okay. So, however, it is not the X-ray interaction with matter that I am referring to kanina kung ano yung may kahalagahan sa diagnostic radiology. So, yung binanggit ni Mr. Tena kanina, di ba, binanggit niya is coherent scattering. So, yun yung una. Okay? So, ito yung mga possible fates ng X-ray na mangyayari kapag nag-interact sa katawan natin. Okay? Okay? Absorption, penetration, pag sinabi attenuation, portion of the X-rays are absorbed, then portions of that X-rays are penetrated, or the body penetrates yung certain portion. Okay? So, yan. We have 5 X-ray interaction with matter. Yan ba yung nakita nyo? Yan ba yung nabasa nyo? Yung 5 yan. We have the coherent scattering, Compton scattering, photoelectric effect, okay? Then Pear Production, and photo disintegration. Okay. Sa palagay nyo, alin dyan sa 5 yan ang may value sa diagnostic radiology? Kumbaga, kunwari hindi nyo alam, manghuhula lang muna tayo. Sa palagay nyo, alin sa 2 yan? Okay? So, kumbaga titingnan lang natin doon sa mga terms, no? Diba? May mga terms na magandang pakinggan, may mga terms naman na pag binasa mo, parang alam mo na agad na parang hindi siya importante or wala siyang pakinabang pagdating sa X-ray as a diagnostic imaging. Diba? Halimbawa, basahin natin yung last, photo disintegration. Diba? Ano bang ibig sabihin ng disintegration? Disintegrate. Diba? Parang ang dating agad is negative na agad. Disintegrate. Parang sisirain mo agad yung photo. In diagnostic radiology, hindi tayo sumisira ng image. We make image, we produce images, di ba? So, tanggal na siya. So, Pear Production, magandang pakinggan. Photoelectric Effect, maganda rin pakinggan. Tapos yung 2 una, scattering. Saan ba kayo nakarinig ng scatter, ng salitang scatter? Diba? Sa interaction with, yung kanina, yung binanggit natin, di ba? Yung attenuation, nagkakaroon ng scatter radiation. So, possible yung 4. So, syempre, para mas malaman natin, iisa-isahin natin. Okay. So, first is coherent scattering or classical scattering. Actually, marami siyang pangalan. And you have to be familiar with the different terms used for coherent scattering. Okay. So, anong nangyayari? Or ano ba muna ang classical or coherent scattering? Or anong nangyayari sa kanya? So, basically, low level yung energy ng X-ray nito. Okay? Tatamaan niya yung orbital electron, pero dahil sa siya ay low energy, okay? Again, now we are talking about X-ray photons na dito. We are no longer talking about projectile electrons. X-ray photons. Okay? So X-ray photons, low level, tatama sa or magko-collide sa orbital electron. So dahil siya ay low level X-ray photons, wala siyang capability to eject the electron. Instead, ano lang mangyayari doon sa electron? Magkakaroon ng vibration. So, kung may vibration, ano bang nangyayari, di ba? Excitation lang. Okay? So, there will just be excitation ng electron. Okay? At dahil doon, syempre, dahil excitation, ano yung naproproduce ng excitation? Heat. Sa classical or coherent scattering, konting amount lang ng heat. Bakit konting amount lang ng heat? Because, okay, walang nangyayaring transfer of energy. Okay? Walang nangyayaring transfer of energy from the low energy photon papunta doon sa target electron. And after that, the photon is scattered in different directions. Okay? So, yan. Sabi dito, interactions in which radiation undergoes a change in direction. May change in direction. Kasi bumangga siya sa orbital electrode. However, diba, sabi without a change in wavelength. Pag sinabi bang wavelength, ano yung parameters or ano yung may kaugnayan sa wavelength? Diba? Energy. So, walang change ng energy. Walang change ng wavelength eh. So, walang pagbabago ng energy. Walang na-deposit na energy sa target. Okay? At ang energy ng X-rays o ng mga X-ray photons that is involved or that are involved in classical scattering or coherent scattering ay may energies below 10 kilo electron volts. Below. Mababa sa 10 keV. Okay? So yan, tingnan natin. Yon. So ganyan po yung coherent scattering, yung interaction ng photon. So kung makikita natin yung photon which is represented by a yellow wave, okay, with arrow, okay? Tumama siya sa isang orbital electron. Anong nangyari sa orbital electron? Wala. Na-excite lang siya. Nag-vibrate. Okay, due to the collision. Pero, anong nangyari sa X-ray photon? Nagkaroon ng change in direction. Okay? What's the reason for the change of direction? Kasi nga, doon sinabi ko nga, wala siyang energy loss. Pero dahil sa bumangga siya sa orbital electron, okay? So nagkaroon ng change of direction. So isipin mo na lang, nagbi-billiards ka. 'Di ba? Pag inaim mo yung isang ball, gamit yung white ball, di ba, nag-change in direction kapag tumama siya sa certain angle. So, that is the same with classical scattering. However, wala ngang energy na na-transfer. Okay? Guys, wait lang ah. May tawag lang from Mount Carmel. Okay, so let us continue sa ba ako natapos. Okay? So, ayan nga. Okay, so yan yung representation ng ating classical scattering or coherent scattering. Okay? So, may dalawang klase o dalawang uri ng coherent scattering. Okay, so ito tinatawag na Thomson scattering kapag the interaction is with a single electron only. Okay? Kapag naman the interaction is with the entire atom, it is called Rayleigh scattering. Okay? So, classical scattering, coherent scattering is of little importance with diagnostic radiology. So, anong reason? So, tingnan natin. So, sabi dito, at 70 kBp, perhaps a few percent of X-rays undergo classical scattering, which contributes slightly to film fog. Okay, the general graying of the radiograph by non-information carrying photons. So, classical scattering produces fog sa film. Okay? So, hindi siya useful. Okay? But, for sure naman na-encounter nyo na yung fog sa klase nyo kay Sir Clyde, tama ba? Ano ba yung fog? Ang fog ay isa sa mga film artifacts. Okay? So approximately 5%, okay, of X-rays undergo coherent scattering at 70 kBp. Okay. So narinig nyo na ba yung salitang Rayleigh scattering? Yung sinabi kanina. First time nyo lang marinig yon. Alam niyo yung kantang may mga line na why the sky is blue. Okay, yun na lang. Sa tingin nyo, bakit blue ang paningin natin sa sky? Why? It is because of Rayleigh scattering. Okay, so ito, so yan po yung mga other terms for classical scattering. So, elastic scattering yan. Okay, Thomson, etc. So, okay. Yan, why the sky is blue? So the answer is Rayleigh scattering. Diba? Paano siya nangyayari? We all know that each color sa visible light spectrum ay merong wavelength, di ba? Ang longer wavelength ay nasa red at yung shortest wavelength ay nasa violet. Yung violet, I think it's 300, tama ba? 300 mm. while blue approximately is 300. Okay? So siya ay nagkakaroon ng interaction. Yung blue lights ay nagiging visible dahil mas nakaka-penetrate siya, okay, sa ating atmosphere. Okay. Kaya yun yung nagiging dominant color ng ating sky, blue. Okay, so blue light scatters more than the other colors because it has a shorter wavelength, okay, more energy. Okay? So yung violet and indigo are scattered out by the atmosphere at higher levels. Kaya hindi natin sila nakikita kahit na mas shorter wavelength sila compared sa blue light. Okay? At the same time, yung blue light ay yung violet and indigo na nasa visible light spectrum ay almost nasa edge na siya, boundary na siya ng pagiging invisible. Okay? So yan yung reason kung bakit ang ating skies are blue. Rayleigh Scattering. Okay, so now we proceed to the second one, Compton Effect or Incoherent Scattering. Okay, so dito high energy na yung X-ray photon. At dahil siya ay high energy, the X-ray photon can eject, okay, the orbital electron. And therefore, kung may ejection ng orbital electron, okay, anong nangyayari? Merong production ng photons. Okay? So magkakaroon ng transfer of energy. So the energy is divided between scattered photons and the Compton electron. So ano yung Compton electron? Okay, the Compton electron, siya yung na-eject na electron. Okay? So the scattered photon, okay, dahil sa siya ay high energy, so yung photon na maproproduce, of course, high energy din. So dahil siya ay high energy, it is sufficient enough to penetrate the body, to exit the body. Diba? Okay. So since the scattered photon exits the body, it does not pose radiation hazard to the patient. However, it can increase fog. May increase ng fog sa Compton effect or incoherent scattering. And anong nagiging product or anong magiging result, consequence ng pagkakaroon ng fog? So, contrast will be reduced. Okay? So kahit na siya ay walang radiation hazard sa patient dahil nag-pass-through lang naman sa katawan ng pasyente yung scatter radiation, okay? However, it is or it poses radiation hazard sa radiation health workers, sa ating mga radtech. Okay? Because the number one source of scatter radiation is the patient. So, tatandaan po natin yan. Okay? Yan. So, Compton effect. Okay? Kaya, saan yung pointer natin? So, this is the high energy photon. It collided with the orbital electron, outer orbital electron, okay, produces scattered photon or scattered radiation, okay. At the same time, the electron that it ejected becomes the Compton electron. Okay? Okay, so anong nangyayari doon uh, sa photon? Okay? So the photon retains most of its original energy. Okay? So since the scattered photon exits the body, yun na nga. So ganoon. So yun lang. Dito sa Compton scattering, mayroong transfer of energy pero little amount lang yung natatransfer. And most of the original energy of the incident photon ay nananatili doon sa scatter radiation or scattered photon. Okay? So yan, another illustration ng Compton effect. So tingnan natin. Okay, so tumama siya sa outer shell electron. Okay? Okay? So yung electron, so the Compton electron ejected, tapos yung photon kanina dito or scatter radiation. Okay, so ganun yung nangyayari. Okay? Again, siya ay nangyari saan? Outer shell electron. Hindi siya sa inner shell. Okay? Okay. So Compton scattering can occur with all diagnostic X-rays. So therefore, kung nangyayari siya, siya ay important in radiology. Okay. In diagnostic radiology. So the probability of a Compton interaction increases with increasing density of the absorber. So meaning the denser the body part, so the greater the Compton scattering na maproproduce or na mangyayari yung Compton interaction. Okay? Sa the greater the Compton interaction na mangyayari dun sa uh, tissue or dun sa body part, okay? The greater the scatter radiation produced. Naintindihan po ba? Okay. So, ang question is, paano dumadami or sa tingin ninyo, what is the controlling factor for the Compton interaction? What is the controlling technical factor? Ano ba yung technical factor na may kinalaman sa production ng scatter radiation? KBP. Bakit KBP? Why KBP? Misidan nyo. Why KBP?
Kasi po, siguro ano po sir, yung po volume ng tissue nagde-depend sa thickness ng part na X-ray din.
Yes. Okay. And then, kapag in-increase mo KBP, ano mangyayari? Sa ating incident photons or X-ray photons?
Dadami din po yung energy ng higher photon.
Tataas yung energy.
Opo, parang taas po yung energy niya. Saka po yung intensity niya is magha-high din.
Kung tataas ang kanyang energy, anong mangyayari sa X-ray photon? Anong mangyayari sa kanyang capability? Photon number becomes higher. Are you sure? Sige, linawin natin. Intensity. Ayan na nga ba sinasabi natin? Intensity is different from ano nga yung term na ginagamit nyo? Yeah, penetrability. Okay? So, intensity, siya ay may kinalaman sa concentration ng beam ng X-ray photons. Okay? When we say concentration of X-ray photons, so ito may kinalaman sa quantity ng X-ray photons. And ano ba ang controlling factor ng quantity? KBP ba or MAS? MAS. Very good. Mabuti yung alam nyo. So, tama naman yung sinabi ni Ms. Denyo. The controlling factor is KBP kanina, di ba? It controls the energy. It controls the quality. Okay. And energy, ano ba yung energy? Pag tinaasan mo ang KBP, anong mangyayari sa energy? Tataas, bababa. Mag-i-increase, tataas, magkakaroon ng increase sa energy. Okay. Kapag nag-increase ang energy, anong mangyayari sa wavelength?
Shorter.
Magiging shorter. Kapag shorter ang wavelength, anong mangyayari sa kanyang penetrating power or sa penetrability? More penetration or magkakaroon ng increase in penetrability. So, meaning siya ay magpapass through. Okay. So, remember, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito sa mga interaction with matter, X-ray interaction with matter, ay yung mga X-ray photons may specific energy. Okay? And particularly, pag in-increase mo yung energy, di ba, from kanina, kilo electron volts. Yung below, ano, ilan yun? Below 10 kilo electron volts nga ba? Di coherent scattering. Okay? Ano, tama ba? Below 10 kilo electron volts. Tapos kapag naman Compton scattering, so it will range from about 10 kilo electron volts to diagnostic imaging range. So that means maybe umabot yan ng more than 100 kilovoltage peak or mega electron volts. Okay? So hindi pala 100. Ano lang, mga hindi siya 100 MeV kundi KeV lang. Okay? So yun. May kinalaman sa energy. Kaya pag tinasa natin yung ating KBP, magkakaroon na increase ng scatter radiation. Kasi yung scatter radiation ay product nga nitong Compton effect. And dito sa Compton scattering, magpapass through lang naman yung kanyang energy dito. Or yung kanyang photon. Okay? Ayan po. Ayan po yung nangyayari. Okay, Compton scattering. So, hindi lang ito yung Compton scattering. Okay, hindi lang yan. Pati po dito, Compton scattering yan. Okay, yan. Scatter radiation yan lahat. Okay? So, dito yung beam na useful beam. Yung tumatago sa pasyente. Okay? Naintindihan po ba bago tayo mag-proceed sa photoelectric? Naintindihan po ba? Baka pag nagpa-recitation ako, iba-iba na naman ang sagot. Okay, so photoelectric effect. Okay, so photoelectric effect, low energy. Low kBp X-ray photon ejects inner shell electron. So, kahit na siya ay low energy photon, so yung kanyang energy ay sufficient enough to eject an inner shell electron. Okay? So dahil doon, na-absorb yung kanyang energy. Okay? Meaning, yung lahat na energy ng ating low energy photon, ay nung nagkaroon siya ng collision sa inner shell electron, ay na-absorb na nung inner shell electron. Okay? So magkakaroon ng vacancy, okay, then is filled with the vacancy is filled with an electron, then photon is produced. So basically, ang dinedescribe sa photoelectric effect ay what type of X-ray production ang dinedescribe. Ano yung halos same ng description na dinedescribe?
Radiation po.
Very good. Characteristic radiation. Okay. So, ngayon, the problem with photoelectric effect, meron siyang good and syempre negative effects. Ang isa sa pinaka-negative effect niya ay uh, it contributes sa patient dose. Kung yung Compton effect ay hazardous sa radiation health worker, dito naman sa photoelectric, it is hazardous or it contributes to patient dose. Okay? So bakit? Bakit siya naging contributory to the patient dose? Because the energy is totally absorbed by the body. Yan. So sabi nga yun, as all the photon energy is absorbed by the patient, okay? So kaya siya contributory to the significant patient dose. Okay. However, it is important, very important siya sa diagnostic radiology because, okay, photoelectric effect is the main reason for short scale contrast. So, I'm assuming na alam niyo na kung ano ibig sabihin ng short scale contrast. At anong pinagkaiba niya sa long scale contrast? Naalala niyo pa ba kung ano ibig sabihin ng short scale contrast? Sige, tawag tayo. Miss Forbes, Miss Forbes. Nasaan na siya? Ayun, so, uh, kindly tell us what short scale contrast is. Short scale contrast, Miss Forbes. Ano bang ibig sabihin or ano ba itsura ng isang radiograph with a short scale contrast?
Sir, pwede ko paano, sir?
Wala yata si Miss Forbes. O sige, ano, Miss Banyal.
So, yung short scale contrast po is kapag po low yung ABT natin, dinademonstrate ko yung may minor differences sa density kung radiograph.
And then, so, kung malaki difference ng density sa radiograph, so ano itsura ng radiograph natin? Yun. So, very good. So, basically, pag sinabi nating short contrast, so either black or white lang siya. Or kung meron mang grays, shades ng grays, hindi siya kasing dami ng long scale contrast. Okay? Na we can clearly see na yung mga shades of gray. So, saan ba importante ang short scale contrast? Anong example ng mga imaging procedure na importante ang short scale contrast? No, sa X-ray. Saan body part siya importante?
Tahan po, sir.
Hand, very good. Bakit hand? Bakit hand? Siyempre may reason kung bakit, di ba?
Kasi po, tingnan po, mas marami po dapat na lumakita dun sa hand.
Kumbaga,
Marami po, sir, dun yung part po na kailangan makita. So, yung may mga maliit na part po doon na dapat
yes, that's true. Pero bakit kailangan short scale contrast? Eh abdomen, marami rin pwedeng makita sa abdomen. Pero abdomen or let's say lungs, marami rin pwedeng makita sa lungs pero ang lungs ba short scale ang ginagamit or long scale? So why? Why hand? There must be there must be something sa hand na hindi importante or na ano ba yung mga dapat natin makita sa x-ray ng hand. Usually, bakit ba tayo nag-x-ray ng hand? Kapag ba may sugat tayo sa kamay, in-x-ray natin ang kamay. Sure kayo? Nang nail cutter kayo, nagkasugat yung daliri nyo, x-ray agad. So, paano? Yon, very good. Para makita yung fracture sa buto. Okay, kailangan natin ng short scale. Kasi, fracture, ano bang magiging itsura ng fracture sa hand? So, magiging itsura niya is black in color kasi bone yung magkakaroon ng breakage, di ba? Ng fracture. So, ayun. Kaya kailangan natin ng short scale contrast. Kasi bone po yung ating kumbaga bone yung ating interest of study. Unlike sa chest, sa lungs, Hindi natin kailangan ng short scale kasi pag short scale natin yan, ano itsura ng ating radiograph? Diba? Itim lang. Okay? At ang makikita lang natin dyan ay yung ating ribs and vertebra. Okay? So, ayun. Balik tayo sa ating slides. Yan. Photoelectric effect. Diba? Ang ganda, photo effect, letter K. Okay? Ang tagal niyang gumalaw. Yun. Wala, hindi pinakita yung production ng photons. Pero ang pinakita ay yung photoelectron. Okay, kung sa Compton effect, merong Compton electron. So sa photoelectric effect, merong photoelectron. And that photoelectron is the one ejected from the orbits. Okay, photoelectron ang tawag doon. Okay, so when discussing about photoelectric effect, so we must also discuss photoelectric absorption. Okay? So yung photoelectric absorption, so basically ito na yung reason kung bakit ang bones ay white. Kung bakit ang barium sulfate ay white sa radiograph. At kung bakit ang mga lead shielding materials or equipment ay white in color. So ano ba yung common dun sa tatlong yun? What are what ano yung common sa bones, sa barium, at sa lead shields? Ano yung common sa kanila?
High atomic number.
Yes, they have high atomic number. Okay. So therefore, high atomic number materials have the capability to absorb radiation. So total absorption. Okay? Okay. So yung energy na nakasama ng photoelectron dahil nga sa yung in the first place yung ating incident photon ay low energy na. So dahil sa therefore yung photoelectron low energy na rin. And therefore hindi siya makaka-penetrate or magpapasto sa pasyente. Mananatili lang siya sa pasyente. At that will contribute to the radiation dose of the patient. And remember, hindi lang po, sir, wala namang binanggit na radiation doon. Diba? Just a slide, wala namang radiation na binanggit, diba? Ang binanggit ay energy of the photoelectron. So, paano po naging radiation yung photoelectron? Remember that radiation, meron tayong particulate radiation. And particulate radiation is not limited to alpha, beta, diba? Meron din tayong neutron, positron, electron, and proton. So they are all types of radiation. Okay? Okay. So photoelectric effect is an X-ray absorption interaction. Okay. So, yan. Bakit po nakahiwalay yan? So malamang importante yan, di ba? Kaya nakahiwalay siya ng slide. So alam nyo na. Pag nakakita tayo ng mga ganyang slides, ilista nyo na. Okay? The probability of Compton interaction and photoelectric effect is the same. Okay. In soft tissue, they occur at 20 kilo electron volts. In bones, they occur at 40 kilo electron volts. So, tingnan natin sa graph. Okay? So, yung ating X, X-ray energy, yung ating Y, probability of interaction. Okay? So, X-ray energy is measured in kilo electron volts. Okay? So, 20 keV, nag-intersect yung photoelectric and Compton effect. And sa 40 keV, nag-intersect naman yung sa bone ng Compton at photoelectric effect. Okay. So, dyan lang sila yung probability of interaction ay parehas. At that certain level of energy for that certain type of body part. Okay? Naintindihan po ba? Nagets po ba yung graph? Ulitin natin. Okay. So, 20 keV, nagtatagpo yung Compton effect at yung photoelectric effect. Ibig sabihin, parehas ng probability of interaction, yung Compton and photoelectric effect sa tissues kapag nasa level ng 20 kilo electron volts. Okay? While kapag naman nasa level ng 40 kilo electron volts, Compton and photoelectric ay nag-intersect yung probability of interaction sa bone structures. Okay? Same sila ng probability of interaction. At those levels, at those particular or specific body structures or anatomical structures. Okay? So yan, another representation ng photoelectric effect. Okay? Okay, so, diba? Characteristic radiation, halos parehas siya. Yung mga energy levels per orbital shells. Okay? So, meron siyang different energy levels. Okay. So, in any photoelectric interaction, meron tatlong products or tatlong na-produce. Ito ay characteristic radiation. Okay. A negative ion, which is photoelectron, and then a positive charge or yung atom ay nagiging positively charged. Kasi may ejection ng electron. So, paano po siya nagiging positively charged? Dahil merong lacking or nagkulang siya ng isang electron. Kaya siya ay nagiging positive. From neutral state to positive state yung atom. Okay? So yan po lagi yung product ng photoelectric effect sa atom. Okay? Then we go to pair production. Kaya siya tinawag na pair production kasi nagkakaroon ng production ng dalawang particles. Okay. So merong nangyayari ang pair production kaya sa umpisa merong incident photon. Okay? At itong incident photon na ito ay ang kanya energy ay very high. Okay? It possesses a minimum of 1.02 mega electron volts. Kapag sinabing mega, ano ba siya? 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million. Ano ba ang mega?
1 million.
1 million. Okay. So, ibig sabihin 1 million electron volts. So, kung kanina, thousands lang ang pinag-uusapan natin, kilo electron volts. Now, we are talking about million of electron volts. Okay? So, yan yung pinakamababang energy na required for pair production. 1.02 mega electron volts. Okay. So itong photon na to na nagpo-possess ng 1.02 mega electron volts, okay, it will interact directly with the nuclear electric field. Okay? At kapag nagkaroon ng interaction between the incident photon and the nuclear electric field, so yung incident photon ay magdi-disappear and magkakaroon ng production ng dalawang electrons. Isang positron at isang negatron. Okay? So the electron eventually will fill the vacancy. Positron unites with a free electron. Yung pag sinabi natin free electron, they are electrons na palutang-lutang lang somewhere out there. Okay? Free electrons. Okay? And then the mass of both particles is converted to energy in the process. Anong energy yun? We call that energy annihilation radiation. Okay. Magkakaroon ng production ng annihilation radiation or energy photons with a 0.511 mega electron volts. So, dahil sa siya ay very high energy, hindi siya usable or hindi siya important sa diagnostic radiology. So, saan siya? Siya ay ginagamit sa therapeutic radiology. Okay? So, pair production, galing din yung itsura niya. Okay? So, ito yung ating incident photon. Okay? Nag-approach sa nuclear field. Nag-disappear si photon. Nagkaroon ng production. Isang negatron, isang positron. Okay? And then si positron ay bumangga or nag-collide or naka-attract siya ng isang free electron. Okay? At dahil sila ay magkaibang charges, pero they are both electrons, but different charges. So magkakaroon ng annihilation, okay, total annihilation. So mawawala yung particles, and then those particles will produce, okay, energy or photons. Okay, yan dalawa na merong energy na 0.511 mega electron volts. Okay? So kaya siya basically tinawag na pair production because when the X-ray interacts with the atom or the target material, nagproproduce ng pair of electrons. Okay? And nagproproduce din ng pair na photons kapag katapos ng annihilation. Okay? So the electron and positron, or negatron and positron. Okay? Annihilation. Okay? Ngayon nangyayari. Pag sila ay nag-collide, mag-cause ng annihilation, and that annihilation may produce the photons. And the last of the the X-ray interaction with matter is photo disintegration. So again, this utilizes very high energy. Okay, that is why it is used for cancer treatments. So dahil siya used for cancer treatments, so wala siyang importance sa diagnostic radiology, pero sa therapeutic radiology, eh, meron siyang use. Okay? So, ano mangyayari? Okay? Sa photo disintegration, so yung photons with a very high energy, okay, will hit the nucleus. Okay? And then, kapag na-hit niya yung nucleus, magproproduce siya ng, o yung nucleus magproproduce ng, or mag-i-emit, or mag-eject ng nucleon. Okay. So the photons ay may energy na above 10 mega electron volts. Okay? So ito ay directly ma-absorb ng nucleus. Diba? Kapag na-absorb ng nucleus, the nucleus will eject a nucleon. Okay. Pag sinabi natin nucleon, ano nga yun? Either proton or neutron. Nucleon. Okay? So either of the two will be ejected from the nucleus of the target. After the ejection, the nucleus becomes excited and it will become radioactive. Okay. So radioactive na siya. So therefore, di ba pag sinabi natin radioactive, anong meron? Spontaneous emission of energy. So ano ini-emit ng isang radioactive atom? What type of radiation? Ano ba yung laging ini-emit? Ano yung palaging ini-emit ng isang radioactive material, ng isang radioactive atom? Yes, ionizing, syempre. Hindi pwede mag-emit siya ng non-ionizing. What type of radiation. Diba? Ano ba yung laging kasama ng emission? Diba? Na-discuss natin to before sa radioactive decay. Beta, question mark. May kasama ang beta pag nai-emit, di ba? Di ba we discussed only two emissions? The beta emissions and the alpha emission. Pero ano yung wala? Diniscuss na, yan, gamma. Very good, gamma rays. Kasi di ba sinasabi doon sa lecture natin before, na sa lahat ng radioactive emission, laging may gamma emission. Okay? Lagi siyang may kasamang gamma emission. Yung either alpha ba yan, or beta minus, or beta plus, lagi siyang may kasamang gamma rays. Okay? And therefore, sa photodisintegration, so yung nucleus nagiging radioactive, at kapag radioactive yung nucleus, in order for the nucleus, for the atom to become stable, so it will continue to produce or to emit radiation until it became or it becomes stable. Okay? So yan, illustration ng photodisintegration. So tumama yung incident photon with high energy of more than 10 mega electron volts. Okay? Tumama siya sa mismong nucleus. The nucleus absorbed all of the energy. Okay? And thus ejected a neutron. Okay? Pwedeng neutron or pwedeng proton ang ma-eject. Okay. Kapag nagkaroon ng ejection ng nucleon, ano man yun, proton man yan or nucleus or neutron, okay, the atom will become radioactive. Okay? Okay, may question po ba? May tanong po ba? Question. Tama-tama, may oras pa. May tanong po ba? Baka gusto niyo magtanong. Bago natin tapusin yung report tuloy, yung, yung slide, meron pang konting slides. May tanong? Wala. Wala ha. So, mamaya, tatanungin ko ulit kayo. So, X-ray interactions predominates depending on the following. So, ito yung mga factors. So, these are factors affecting X-ray interaction with matter. So, number one, of course, is the energy of X-ray photons. Okay. When you take a radiograph, you select the energy of the X-ray beam. Tama ba? Tama, of course. The unit of electricity applied to the anode is kilovoltage potential or kVp. Okay? The unit of X-ray energy is kilovolt electron potential. Okay? So, yan yung unang factor, the energy of X-ray photons. Next is the atomic number of the absorber. Absorber, ano yung absorber? Either an atomic structure yan, or metal, or whatever, or barium. So, the more interaction will occur with matter of a higher atomic number. In short, the higher the atomic number of the absorber, the higher the interaction, or the higher the number of interaction. Okay? Then, number three, thickness and density of the object. The thicker or the denser the object, okay, the more radiation, or the better it stops the radiation. So, basically, hindi naman talaga stop kasi it just absorbs radiation. Okay. The thicker and density of the object, let's say bone, hindi naman niya talaga totally pinipigilan. Okay. Pinipigilan niya in the sense na hindi siya nagpe-penetrate, hindi siya nagpa-pass through doon sa object. However, okay, radiation is being trapped inside the object. It will be deposited there, so therefore the object absorbs the radiation. Okay, naintindihan po ba? Okay, so importance of various interaction of X radiation with matter. So, ayan, that answers one of our objectives. Ano yung dalawang importante for diagnostic radiology? So we have Compton effect or Compton interaction and photoelectric effect. While for the therapeutic, okay, meron tayo is Pear Production and photo disintegration. And yung pinakauna is, alam nyo na, hindi siya kasali sa or hindi siya importante sa ating field, yung coherent scattering. However, it is responsible for making the skies blue. Okay, so that ends my lecture for today.